So we're here to listen to the Shirelles. I'm very excited for this. We've been listening to the Miracles and the Impressions, the Supremes. We're gonna listen to the Temptations as well as the Ronettes. We're doing a whole little mini arc of R&B and soul and girl group loveliness and all kinds of stuff. I'm excited for this. May not be for everybody, but I have been a very big fan. The Supremes made me nearly cry, and I love that first album, Meet the Supremes. The Impressions similarly blew my mind. The songwriting that Curtis Mayfield is doing there, the singing that he's doing there is fantastic. So I'm excited to get to that, and I'm excited to throw the Shirelles into this this pile of stuff. The Shirelles, Tonight's the Night, and I like this cover a lot. You know, kind of reminds me of some of the '50s ones that are just like they set a certain mood. You know, like the yellows, the reds, the blues, all very nice. Here we go. The Shirelles in 3, 2, 1. Okay. Man, okay. All right. All right. I quite like that. That was a nice opener to set the tone. I guess that is like the big lead single, you know, that this album is named after. But I really like the melody there. I don't know who's on lead. I don't know what the exact formation of the Shirelles is like that. Whoever was on lead on that song, very nice. I thought that was pretty good so far. Okay. It's always a Johnny. It's never a Zakk. Never Zakk on my mind, you know? Johnny be good. Where's Zakk at?
Yes, I love you. And I don't care what you do. Well, I love you. Yes, I love you. And I know my love is true. But I want you by my side. You know your love I can never have, because I got you, darling, on my mind. Well, in the schoolyard, crying to the teacher that this work is too hard because I've got you darling on my mind. Well, I said, Johnny, you're on my mind every day. You're on my mind in the evenings. You're on my mind every night.
Okay, so I've now determined that Shirley Owens is in fact the predominant lead singer. So I thought that was nice. I think I even like that one maybe more than the first one. I don't know, it was just something kind of jovial about it, something kind of just lighthearted and fun.
Baby, it's past 11. Heaven here alone. But if the fire gets any higher, I'm gonna have to send you home. Lower the flame, baby. Lower, lower, lower the flame. Your lips excite me, ignite my very soul. But if you're thinking what I'm thinking, you're gonna have to use control. Lower the flame, baby. Lower, lower, lower the flame.
All right.
Baby, when I kiss your lips, I can feel my heart do flips. Don't you think that I'm a fool? I'm gonna live by the golden rule. So, if you love me,
Okay.
love you got to know. Till there's a ring around my finger, you're gonna have to take it slow. Lower the flame, baby. Lower, lower, lower the flame.
That's funny. I don't see no ring on this finger.
So if you love me, love you got to know. Till there's a ring around my finger, you're gonna have to take it slow. Lower the flame, baby. Lower, lower, lower the flame. A little lower, a little lower, a little lower, a little lower. Way down, way down, down, down.
Man, you guys that are just getting here, you just missed the best one so far. That was cool. That was it kind of reminded me, this is probably just wrong of me, but my first the closest thing I got was like Wanda Jackson, right? The attitude that she has on some of those tracks, like I'm a Fuji, I'm a mama. If you guys remember that one, if you ever watched that video or heard that song. Is this song about receiving head? No, I think it's about cooling down, it's about not rounding all the bases. Maybe it stops at second or third, I don't know. But specifically, she says in the song, like, it's definitely risque, but for the time, they temper it by saying, unless there's a ring around this finger, then take it slow. So the Shirelles are not okay with premarital sex. But yeah, that was a nice, upbeat, energetic, good, nice and confident. I like the instrumentation there. All the background singers, they've had I think it's been a different little chant for each song, because they had ba ba da da, and then the last one was like be doo be dee doo, or something like that. I don't think it was quite that, but it was something to that effect. This is the Carole King written song.
Tonight you're mine completely. You give your love so sweetly. Tonight the light of love is in your eyes.
Oh, okay.
But will you love me tomorrow? Is this a lasting treasure? Or just a moment's pleasure? Tonight
melody.
Will you still love me tomorrow? Tonight with words unspoken, you said that I'm the only one.
Yeah, maybe.
But will my heart be broken when the night meets the morning sun? I'd like to know that your love is a love I can be sure of. So tell me now, and I won't ask again. Will you still love me tomorrow? So tell me now, and I won't ask again. Will you still love me tomorrow? Will you still love me tomorrow?
All right, time to have a little tiny revelation about Carole King. Basically, all I know about Carole King is her album Tapestry, because I think like somebody in my family, maybe like my aunt, had it on like CD. Like it wound up in my collection at some point, and I heard it and I was transfixed by it. This was like 10 years ago or something probably. And I didn't listen to any more of her for some reason. I didn't do any research into her. And I did not know that she was part of a writing team in the 1960s with her first husband, Gerald Goffin. I had no idea about this. Pardon me, let me put some flowers. Let's give Carole King some flowers here for a minute. I just need to check this out because I did really like that record. So what is it? Where does it all start? In the 60s, she wrote a string of classic songs for a variety of artists. Chains, recorded by the Everly Brothers and the Beatles. What else? Crying in the Rain for the Everly Brothers. Halfway to Paradise by Billy Fury. Take Good Care of My Baby for Bobby V. Up on the Roof for the Drifters. Pleasant Valley Sunday for the Monkees. You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman for Aretha Franklin. Oh shit. Okay. The duo wrote several songs recorded by Dusty Springfield. And then they divorced in '68. Then she went on to do her own thing. I reckon. Nobody didn't have Tapestry, one of the best of all time. Yeah, for sure. That's such a vulnerable, intimate piece of writing all the way through. Even the cover of it is iconic. Her in the little window. I think there's a cat in the frame there. She's one of the greatest writers ever. Her stuff with the Monkees is fabulous. Zombies did a good version of this, of Will You Love Me Tomorrow on BBC. George Harrison adored the Shirelles. When he visited his sister in the US in September 1963, he bought some Shirelles albums to take back with him. In September 1963? Okay. That's interesting. This is December 60, I think. She wrote something for everybody. Had her own hit with It Might As Well Rain until September in '62 with the cat and her hair. Yeah, the hat, or the hair. Yeah. Carole also did her own version of this song on that Tapestry album. Interesting. I'll admit I'd spent quite a few years since I have listened to it, but I definitely hold it in very high esteem. I'll be very curious to get back to it. You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman is one of the greatest songs of all time. Absolutely. No arguments here. All right, let's keep going there. Now that we've derailed, given the Shirelles the praise, let's give it to the Shirelles now, everybody. They did a great job on this song.
Jambalaya, boys. Well, I came from Jamaica, doing the Ronde. Where dances they make up, doing the Ronde. The Ronde's one, doing the Ronde. It's real gone, doing the Ronde. Well,
stop.
Samba, doing the Ronde. You sway like the rumba, doing the Ronde. Has beat of the bongos, doing the Ronde.
All right, I can't do that anymore. Huh. Was that worth the Tweety birds in my head now? Was that? I'm glad you guys thought that was funny. That was great. Doing the Ronde. Yeah, it's got some kind of fancy. What did they say? They said it's not like the mambo. It's not like the something else. I can't think straight at all right now. I love the cover of this album. I do too. I think the colors are all really nice. I think it sets a great atmosphere. It looks like someone got dematerialized on prom night. To me, it looks like a shrine. It looks like some type of shrine that someone set up. Maybe that's exactly what it is. Like the Thanos snap happened, and prom night girl got what is it? She got snapped, right? She got turned into dust. And so then they set up this nice little thing to remember her. And when she comes back from the snap 5 years later, she's going to finish that prom, baby. Tonight's the night.
Say you don't want me, don't want my love.
Oh, okay.
Say you don't want me, don't want my love. All I ever wanted to do was never, never, ever leave you. But you don't want me, don't want my love. Say you don't need me, don't need my kiss. You know you don't need me, don't need my
Little Tina Turner.
kiss. All I ever wanted to do was kiss you and thrill you through.
Ooh.
But you don't want me, don't want my love. Someday,
Oh,
I said someday,
okay.
you're gonna want me, I'll be far away.
Oh.
And then one night, oh yes, one night, you'll be lonely, want me to only hold you tight. But you don't want me, don't want my love.
Big Mama Thornton shirt.
Don't want me, don't want my love. All I ever wanted to do was never, never, ever leave you. But you don't want me, don't want my love. Don't want my love. You don't want.
Yeah, that one was great. That one was very sultry, very sexy. Bum, 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 bum. You know, great beat there. When those drums kicked in, man, that was a groove. That was nice. That was the A-side. And I think there was some pretty good stuff on there. They had like the kind of novelty dance-y type song with Doing the Ronde. What was it? Ronde? Tonight's the Night was nice. Johnny on My Mind was also pretty, pretty sexy. Lower the Flame, probably still my highlight there. But I like the balance that they're striking. There is a sexual undercurrent to it, which is nice. And instrumentation has been great. The singing has been fun, a lot of variety. Some nice smooth stuff, some of the Tina Turner stuff going on here. I'm into it. Good A-side so far.
This is dedicated to the one I love. While I'm far away from you, my baby, I know
Okay.
especially for me.
Okay.
And it's something that everybody needs. Each night before you go to bed, my baby.
Oh yeah, this one's great.
Whisper a little prayer for me, my baby.
The mamas and the papas.
And tell all the stars above. This is dedicated to the one I love. This is dedicated to the one I love. This is
They, the mamas and the papas, they're the ones that, I forget what year they come out, but I have one of their records, if you can believe your eyes and ears, the one where they're all in the bathtub. Is that one? I haven't listened to it yet, though. I like this one. This was also nice, a little more, something about that beat was just, like, very hypnotizing, you know? And so it just, it was, like, kind of lulling me a little bit there, and then on the, I guess it wasn't even the hook, was it? Did it repeat? The life can never be. You know, it was like kind of riding the beat a certain way. Like I thought that was all pretty nice. And then when it comes back into the hook there, that's smooth. That's smooth. That's a good one. Ooh.
I've been told when a boy kisses a girl,
Hey.
she takes a trip around the world. Yeah, yeah. Hey, hey.
Okay.
Hey, hey, please say you do. Mama says when you kiss my lips, I'll get a thrill through my fingertips. Yeah, yeah.
I like that they wrote the.
Hey, please say you do. Well, I'm talking my boy.
Was it George that did the singing on this one? Ooh, it was somebody, right?
I'm talking my boy.
Or Ringo?
Don't you know I mean boy? Well, I'm talking my boy. Hey, what a bundle of joy.
It was Ringo? Okay. Ugh.
Well, I'm talking my boy. Don't you know I mean boy? Well, I'm talking my boy. Don't you know I mean boy? Well, I'm talking my boy. Hey, what a bundle of joy.
What a bundle of joy, huh?
Boy, no, I'm talking my boy. Well, boy, no, I'm talking my boy.
That was cool. That was interesting to hear, because this came out before the Beatles version, right? So interesting to hear what the Beatles heard and what they then later turned it into. On that was on the first record, right? Ringo's first time leading. Rongo? Rongo. What is that? Is that Ringo's evil twin? I've heard of like the whole Paul is dead thing. I never heard of Rongo though. That's a new part of the Beatles lore I'm not familiar with. It's interesting because I feel like Ringo's version also doesn't go like super crazy vocally on that one, right? Until like maybe towards the end when it's like, well, I'm talking about boys, but it's not like I don't remember it being like a super John guttural twist and shout type screaming thing. I find it interesting that he kind of kept it pretty close, and then the Beatles themselves occupied the other background Shirelles singers. Like it translates pretty well, I think, is what I'm trying to say in a very poor way. It translates very well, but the source material here is also very good. One might say it's a bundle of joy. The dance is over midway through the album, though. That's kind of weird, but okay, alright.
You left me standing at the dance alone.
What?
You said that you would walk me home. The dance is over.
Why would I do this?
The dance is over, and you are gone.
Fool.
Oh, my darling, I said I'd be faithful as the morning sun. I kiss someone. It was all in fun. The dance is over. The dance is over, and you are gone. I guess somehow it's not my fault because my heart was never taught. Flirting is a losing game. Now I know I'm not to blame, and we may never meet again. And I feel so ashamed, oh darling, please,
Man.
can we still be friends? I know I'll love you.
Still be friends? Girl,
Until
he left
the
you.
end. The dance is over.
Fuck that guy.
The dance is over, and you are gone.
I'm old enough to remember school dances with boys on one side, girls on the other. I feel like that's still all dances. Like, at least, like, young kid dances before like, high school. All the, like, middle school dances, that's exactly what it is. It's all the girls over here and the guys over here, and everybody's too afraid to make a move, you know? This is a great one. This one was... Okay, first of all, I will say, whoever was the lead on this one, if it was Shirley, I don't know. Oh, the Shirelles. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm so stupid. Shirley, the Shirelles. Oh. Okay. I think Shirley really was trying very, very hard in that performance. I think she was at times straining and maybe even biting off more than she could chew, but I think that she was giving it her all. Shirley was going off on that song for sure. I'm confused about the subject matter because it's a slow jam song that, you know, you want to have playing for teenagers or whatever to dance to. But the song is about the dance being over and being stood up. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being picky and stupid. Probably the case. I didn't even know that the Shirelles were named after Shirley. What are we doing here?
I've got a heart to give away. Sweet words I want to say. The stars are down, the moon is bright. Whoa, what a waste of love. Whoa, what a waste of love. If you pretty baby, yeah, don't love me tonight. I got two lips that I never used. A million hearts I want to lose. So come on, darling, the time is right. Whoa, what a waste of love. Whoa, what a waste of love. If you pretty baby, yeah, don't love me tonight. I
Tonight's the
wanna
night.
kiss you in the morning when the sun comes up. I wanna hold you in the evening when the sun goes down. When the moon is shining, I can feel my heart crying. Oh,
I will say, that one didn't like super blow me away. It had, I wasn't a huge fan of the. That was a little bit too plucky and ever present for me. It wasn't, you know, I didn't dislike the song, but it kind of took it down a peg. But that was fun, and none of these have really blown me away. I think the most impressive one to me, or standout one to me so far, is "Lower the Flame." But everything else has maintained a nice pleasance, and there's been a nice variety of upbeat and pleading and slow dance songs and everything in between. Yeah, this is the debut album of the Shirelles, this December 1960, and apparently the Shirelles were very, very young, like 18. Ugh.
Unlucky in love. What's the reason? I ask the stars above.
Ugh.
I guess I'm just unlucky in love. In love. Disappointed. Most of the time, can't find that someone that's supposed to be mine. I guess I'm just unlucky in love.
I do like this one.
The sun and moon.
Huh?
Take to the sky. Berries even take to the pie. The birds and leaves take to the trees, but don't nobody take to me. Unlucky.
Okay, all right.
Guess until I die, all alone, just me, myself, and I ask the moon above, why am I so unlucky in love?
I like that one. I do appreciate, yeah, everyone's kind of mentioning some old school stuff, got to be a 30s or 40s song. I definitely got vibes of, like, you know, what Patti Page was singing back in the 50s. Peggy Lee, sure. Yeah. I love all those, the old, I equate that, I just say girly pop. I mean, that's probably the wrong way to say it for the artists in the 50s, you know? That wasn't quite what they were being referred to, but I love my girly pop singers, you know, Patti Page, Peggy Lee, Doris Day, big fan of her. I have a big crush on Doris Day. I think she's cute as a button and lived through some real shit, you know? That rat bastard husband took her for everything she had. Sorry, that was probably super, super loud. Sorry. I just get really heated up, you know, about the injustices of the world that happened to Doris Day. Yes, so I liked that song. I say all that to say 1950s music, 30s, 40s, whatever they're singing. Nice, simple, heartfelt, some strings on there. All works for me. All works for me. And now we are on to our closing track. This prom must have sucked. Man.
I'll be dancing tonight, holding someone so tight.
Okay.
I'll just melt in his arms tonight at the prom. We'll see all of our friends.
Quincy Jones, yeah. I don't think I've heard Dinah Washington. I've heard Dinah Shore.
Your love to me tonight at the prom.
Why is this so melancholy, is the thing. This sounds like a funeral march. This should be tonight at the prom. I'm holding my baby.
This life always will be locked in my memory. Just give your love to me tonight at the prom.
Like, that was okay, but I know exactly where this scene plays in a movie. This is the song that plays in Act 2B in our rom-com, when our two leads, our guy and our gal or whatever, are split apart, right? Because of a third person, you know, like someone broke up with the other to be with another person. So in this scene, let's say the gal is with the new guy. This song is what's playing when the new guy is doing all this, like, breakfast in bed and you whining and dining and all this stuff she's supposed to be impressed by, but really she's just thinking about the guy that she left the whole time. That's this scene in the movie when she realizes she has to get back with the lead protagonist and they have, you know, they're running into the airport at the last second type thing. You know what I'm saying? That's what this song reminds me of, because it's tonally, lyrically, they're talking about tonight at the prom, we're gonna do this great thing. Oh, graduating and you might not see your love again. That is true. That is a thing that happens. I remember that now. I forgot. But yeah, that is true, huh? Did they say that in the lyrics, though? Did they mention anything about that lyrically? I guess that just comes with the territory of prom, right? Although you do have a junior and a senior prom. So, like, you don't have to be graduating the next year, I suppose. Or you could be getting held back, you know? You could do that. Anyway, I guess I didn't consider that perspective, but it does still kind of ring a little bit sad and melancholy relative to the subject matter for me in a weird way. But again, instrumentation is nice. I like the strings. The singing is fine enough. Not quite the standout for me. Like, I liked Unlucky as that type of song a little bit more, but there were still plenty of, like, good upbeat ones on this side, you know? Boys, Dedicated to the One I Love. Yeah, good stuff. I liked most all of these songs. The only ones I didn't give the stars to were Doin the Ronde, because that was like a little novelty track there, and then Tonight at the Prom. Just didn't quite work all the way for me. There are some here that are a little weaker than others, but there's also some here that are a little stronger than others. And overall, I think they delivered a nice project that, again, especially when I put into the context of this is the year 1960, and like the girl groups that I remember having heard in the 50s. I mean, there weren't really a lot of, I could be wrong, shoot me some suggestions, or just shoot me if you want, but I remember like the Chordettes, you know, and you had like the barbershop harmonies and stuff, but you didn't really have girl groups doing like poppy, sexual, R&B laced, early rock laced stuff that I really remember. So in that context, it is very, it's, you know, kind of new and fresh and fun, and would probably be very cool for a lot of women to hear and maybe feel a little bit like sexually liberated, to be like, aha, yes, there are other people that just want to like go out and hump things, you know? It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. The Andrews Sisters, I've heard the name. I might even have a record of theirs, but I don't think I've listened to them. But that could be a good, let me even, okay, yeah, I've just got like a single or something, or like, you know, they have appearances on stuff, but I've not like heard them. All right, let's read our blurb. Brill building pop, girl groups, early pop rock. Interesting. Richie Unterberger. Sometimes him and I have beef, so we'll see. We'll see what gets said here. The Shirelles' first album was, in common with many debuts by hitmakers of the early 1960s, utterly dominated by the hit singles included on the LP. On Tonight's the Night, these included not only the title track, but also Will You Love Me Tomorrow, which was the Carole King one, Dedicated to the One I Love, which was the first on side B, and an honorary hit in Boys, the B-side of Will You Love Me Tomorrow, and made into a standard in its own right via a cover by the Beatles. I can read, I promise. These tracks are excellent and appear on virtually any comprehensive Shirelles best of. The other cuts are filler by comparison, though still pleasant for the period pop soul early girl group production if nothing else. Of those other songs, Luther Dixon's smoldering fever-like You Don't Want My Love stands out, while Unlucky is notable for later appearing on Dionne Warwick's debut album. Oh, interesting. I have Dionne Warwick in the queue, but I understand that is she kind of like a theatrical, like a Broadway type singer? Like, I don't know if that's something that I would necessarily be super into. So I haven't listened to, or I haven't like queued her up or anything, but I do have her stuff. And I know she's like a cool lady and stuff. For the most part, even more so than some other Shirelles LPs, the LP evokes a bygone era where innocuous young love and its accompanying hurts were the centers of many teenagers' universes, fretted over with the detailed seriousness of international diplomacy. What? You lost me there, Richie. I don't know about international diplomacy. But I do agree with the nostalgic sentiment and the, somewhat young sentiment there. I think that's fine. Dionne is a fantastic singer, many hits, so I'm sleeping on Dionne Warwick. So far, I like the Shirelles. Let me see what else I have of them. Because it does seem like they need to maybe mature in their sound a little bit, but I also don't know how long lasting they are, relative to some of these other groups. But I have the Shirelles sing to trumpets and strings. So there's always that. Golden Oldies collection. Or no, they sing the Golden Oldies, so that's not like a golden records of theirs. Dionne Warwick is Burt Bacharach's go-to singer. I don't know who that is. I don't know who Burt Bacharach is, so that doesn't help me. That's going to do it for the Shirelles. I thought this was a fine debut. I think they showed promise. I would like to hear more from them, hear them develop their sound a little bit more, their chemistry. But the production was nice, and there were some standout songs on here. And I learned about Carole King, man. I learned that she has a whole history of pop songwriting, husband co-writing song with life that I knew nothing about. So I think that's very cool. There were some R&B girl groups active in the 50s, but I don't know if any were big enough to get into the LP business yet. That's fair. That's fair too. Thank you, everybody. And we are going to throw this over to